Rene and Svetlana.
Svetlana and I have had the wonderful opportunity to get to know a GED student here at Clover Park whose name is Ruth Woods. The one word I would use to describe Ruth is she is a survivor. It seems to me that she has had to overcome so many trials and tribulations. Her life just has been one struggle after another. However, at 52, she's still going to school and she's still trying to reach her goals. Today we're going to share with you some of the difficulties she's had. She's had some family difficulties. She's struggled with learning disabilities. She at one time had a drug addiction problem, and then we're going to share our current goals with you. Her current goals with you. Ruth was born in Tacoma, Washington in 1952. She describes her younger life as typical. Her father worked for the city of Tacoma. Her mother, Elaine, was a stay-at-home mom who was dedicated to taking care of Ruth and her siblings. Ruth has two brothers, Rene and Jimmy, and a sister named Carol. With lots of extended family in the area, including aunts and uncles and cousins, she tells us that holidays were always filled with a lot of family and they were always a joyous occasion. However, Ruth's difficulties with her family came shortly after her mother passed away in 1988. She was hit by a car while crossing the street. After that, the fighting between the siblings seemed to increase quite a bit, and even got worse when her brother Jimmy, whom she was closest with, died of kidney complications to kidney failure, I believe in 2002. Shortly after that, she lost her father. Ruth has not spoken to her brother Randy for many years and believes he's in prison in Illinois, although she's not quite sure. And she, not sure why, but her sister Carol will not talk to her either anymore. So she basically has no family members to talk with. Ruth, talk about the learning disabilities. She was diagnosed with learning disabilities at a very, very young age. Severe enough for her to be able to collect Social Security. The complexity of her disabilities caused her to quit high school at 17, and she also went on to get married. I was able to interview Roger Nix, who's her GED reading and writing instructor. And he explained to me, because we'd asked Ruth, what are your learning disabilities? Maybe we could have researched a specific one. She said, I don't know. I approached Roger with that question. He said, that's not unusual, given the time that she was actually in school and all disabilities were thrown into one ball and they were all treated the same. So it's not uncommon for her not to be aware of exactly what her diagnosis is. What he told me was that some of her toughest challenges were reading comprehension and processing information. He also explained to me that he tailors his teaching to give her individualized attention. He gives her larger print, and he gives her more easier to read pages. Instead of giving her a full page of script, it might be a half a page of script and some illustration, because this might be overwhelming. Throughout my interview with him, I thought it was really interesting. He let me know that she is extremely punctual. She is always early for class. She's enthusiastic, and she's willing to participate in all the class discussions, and she's more than happy to do whatever's asked of her. Right now I'd like to give you some information that we've gathered on Clover Park's Adult Basic Education and General Educational Development Program, or the GED program, as well as some material on how Clover Park works with students with disabilities. And let you know that if you guys have friends who don't have their high school diploma, that it's never too late to go back to school. Ruth is 52, and she's back in school and she's going full force. So it's been pretty exciting for her. I'm gonna let Svetlana talk about her drug addiction and her goals in daily life.
Shortly after leaving her husband, Ruth began using drugs. Her sister Carol started using methamphetamines because she was so tired, and she found that she felt more empowered on drugs and was able to get more accomplished. After seeing this, Ruth also started using drugs, especially methamphetamines, acid, and black beauties, which are a combination of meth and Vicodin. According to Ruth, she was severely addicted to these drugs for about 15 years. Shortly after her mother passing, her family staged an intervention to tell her that she had to choose the drugs or her family. After the intervention, she voluntarily entered herself in 14 days drug treatment at Puget Sound Hospital. She has maintained sobriety since. There are a lot of people in the world who are addicted to drugs, and most of them don't ever stop. She says there is still a struggle with her addiction due to old friends who are still addicted, trying to get her to use again. She stays sober by staying away from those old friends. She attends church several times a month, and surrounds herself with positive, sober people. Today, Ruth maintains a good, positive lifestyle. Her goals are to become independent and no longer have to be dependent on Social Security. She is doing this by attending Clover Park Technical College GED program, which she says will take approximately 2 years. After obtaining her GED, she would like to work in a nursing home to help people who need help. Ruth has a few friends who help her with her daily needs. She has a roommate, Steven, who helps her keep up the apartment, does the cooking, and reminds her to take medication for sleep disorder. Her friend Dennis takes her to the stores, garage sales, and to the church because Ruth doesn't drive a car. Ruth also has ongoing contact with her friend Melissa, who lives in Virginia. Melissa's daughter, Alicia, who is 5 years old, is Ruth's good daughter. Ruth very much enjoys her conversation with Melissa and Alicia. A typical day for Ruth begins at 6:30 a.m. when she wakes up and has a breakfast before taking city bus on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. After school, she takes a nap for about 2-3 hours before getting up for dinner, which Steven has prepared for her. After dinner, she does homework. She usually watches news, and her favorite show is Walker, Texas Ranger. In her free time, she enjoys children, dogs, and she likes old country.